Well, happy Sunday evening to you. Chris Hare, the Crypto Cowboy here, bringing you another nightly update. I hope you guys had an awesome Sunday. Mine was really good. Went to church, got me some Jesus, came home, mowed the yard, rode some horses. You guys got to meet Longbrow and Big Willie if you're following my shorts on YouTube. Two good kids, really special horses to us. They're really like family. I'm glad you guys got to see them. But anyway, today is Sunday, October 12th. It's 10 o'clock here in Texas. If you're enjoying these videos, like it, tap that subscribe button, hit the bell notification. You'll get notifications as soon as we drop a video. And leave us a comment. What did you guys do this Sunday? It helps the YouTube algorithm and it gets us out to more people. But I need to remind you, these videos are not for financial advice. They're for entertainment and educational purposes only. Use caution when trading crypto. You could lose all of your money. All right, into the meat and potatoes. What we're looking for: Crypto Fear and Greed Index. This measures market sentiment. Everybody's scared. Are they euphoric? Well, this little map tells us. And right now we're at 40. We're in neutral. I think we were down at 39 yesterday in fear. But what we want to keep in mind, even though we're in fear, for your spot bags, this is the best opportunity to buy. You can tell every time we go into fear, there's a big pump that follows. See it here. We hit fear several times, but then we blew out of it. Extreme fear, we blew out of it into greed. We got into greed. We never made it recently up into greed, just barely, and we dropped into fear. But you have to think about, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And every time we go, and even when we get down in extreme fear, those are amazing opportunities to buy. This was down in April when everything hit, Bitcoin hit about 77,000, and we all know what happened next, all-time high. So pretty impressive. All right, going out to a liquidation heat map on Bitcoin. This is my red flag for tonight, guys. I know we crossed that 50 daily moving average, but I'm not sure market makers didn't set a trap to liquidate everybody again, just like they did on Friday. You can see there's only $500 million of liquidations to the top side. But if you go to this bottom side, there's $1.29 billion worth of the liquidations down to 108. So it raises a red flag for me. But let's get into the chart. Let's understand what's going on, and then we'll go from there. Right now, I didn't trade today. I know it was a good run, but I was a little cautious, and I wanted to close above that daily 50 before I decided to jump into longs. I want to play from a position of strength. I want to let this move come to me, and I don't want a chance on either getting stopped out or liquidated. That's how you lose money. We're here to make money, guys. And if you're just aping in every time you see a green candle, I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to get burned. But let's look at Bitcoin on the weekly chart. I think it's relevant still. You can tell we had that huge run from about March, and we're working our way up. We worked our way up to all-time highs. We broke all-time highs 3 or 4 different times. So the weekly golden zone off of that top is running about $81,000, anywhere between $94,000 and $85,000. This 50 moving average takes an average of 50 candles and puts us a fluid line on the chart. And what this does, rather than horizontal support and resistances, it gives you a fluid support and resistance. A lot of times Bitcoin likes to come down and test 50 moving averages, but like I said, we're on a weekly, and we haven't tapped that thing, guys, since way back in October of 2023. So are we worried about it touching it here? We are, but there's a good possibility it doesn't. But let's go on out to a daily chart. Let's take a look. This is going to narrow that move down for us, break down what the weekly charts are thinking. And here's my thinking here, guys. We've had this, there's a corrective pattern that's going on here. I won't get into advanced in it, but it kind of raises a red flag for me. We did cross this 50 moving average, and we closed above this 382, which is bullish. But I want to see a retest here. I didn't take a long. If this thing comes down and tests this 50 moving average that we were talking about that works as outstanding support and resistance, you can see we've lost it, we reclaim it, we retest it, made a run. We lost it, we reclaimed it, retested, made a run. So are we going to lose it, reclaim it, retest, and run here? Time will tell. But I think 113,000, around 113, 114,000 is going to be our indicator. And I think that happens at market open tomorrow or maybe tomorrow afternoon. And it's going to tell us a lot of what's going on. I still have the golden zone marked from about 108. to 104,000. And for right now, that's my target until otherwise proven. This wick that was left, market makers like to fill out about 70% of those, and that puts us right down in that 108 region. And guess what, guys? That's where the liquidations run out. So now you can see my theory behind maybe this thing goes a little lower. We're going to be cautious here. We're going to wait on a retest and figure out for ourselves. This is what's suspect to me. I'm going to go down to a 4-hour chart. I'm going to show you this because I think it's relevant, and I don't want you guys to get stuck in a trap. We have not crossed the 50 moving average on the 4-hour yet. We have on the hourly, we have on the daily, but the 4-hour has not. And I think this move is kind of getting exhausted. If you go to your RSIs, our stochastic RSI is kind of maxed out. Our regular RSI is rolling over and it's below the 50 point. If this was above the 50 point, I'd say, well, maybe we get a retest and we run on up. But we're rolling over before, so I'm extremely optimistic on the move. This is a cipher that measures volume. It takes the stochastic RSI and manipulates it in the program. You can see it's either red or green. It's money flow, and the money flow is still red with the volume kind of coming down. So it just it's kind of in a warning that says, hey, top of the move, we're going to pull back here. And my question is, how far? I'm not sure. That's why I want to wait. This is a little concerning to me, but we'll wait on it. We'll play the move day by day. I'll give updates throughout the day. I've been doing that 3 to 4 times on those YouTube shorts, and they've worked really well. So that's what we're going to do here. All right. So with that, let's move on to Ethereum. I'm not going to cover as deep a detail as I did because you guys are going to get bored with it, but let's take a look. You can see on Ethereum, just like Bitcoin, there's only $90 million of liquidations from here, guys, up to about $4,300. But when you go to the downside, down to about $3,700, there's almost $1 billion in liquidations. Not too long ago, that was $1.23 billion. That was probably 30, 45 minutes ago. It's came down, but there's big pockets of liquidity right around $4,000. There's another one right around $3,900. This gap makes me wonder if we don't fill these out and make a move up, but I would think they would come after this too. So that's where I'm at with this. There's an opportunity for this to be a deeper pullback than what we're expecting, but we'll get into the charts. We'll kind of look at that. We'll figure out what's going on. All right, back to the charts. Let's pull up Ethereum. All these charts are posted in the Crypto School. You can find a link to that in my description. I've also posted the liquidation heat maps there, so you kind of have an idea of my thesis and why I'm going. All right, here we are, weekly chart. You can see I've still got our golden zone marked. We're still in this bullish pennant, which gives me hope that there's a move to the upside coming, and it could be rather explosive. I think what's happening is we're retesting the breakout that we had on a weekly chart. And you have to understand, guys, weekly charts cover a really big move. I mean, that went from $1,300 all the way to almost $5,000, nearly a 5x from the bottom. So it's going to want to retest these. Typically, they like to retest about 50%, which puts us about $3,000, but you can't rule out 61%. That's just typical. There is a possibility we bounce off of this 382. That's where that wick went to. That's kind of a minimal retracement. And so you can see we're really close. The 50 moving average is coming up. Ethereum likes to come to it and test it like Bitcoin did not. But we can tell the trend is down. I'm going to double click on this because we got a weekly candle close and we've printed a sell on the cipher. The stochastic RSI is coming down pretty fast, so I'm pretty optimistic about that. And we're just kind of working our way down on the RSI. That measures kind of strength of the move. Let's go to the daily, break this out, figure out exactly what's going on. Here we go. This breaks down that bullish pennant just a little bit more. Like we've talked about, this 50 moving average, that's a 50 candle measurement that puts a line on the chart and works as really good support and resistance. We're above it, but you can see the wicks coming up on the top. There's sell pressure trying to pull this down. So here's our option. We settle here, consolidate, and take off to the upside, or we lose this, retest, and move on down to our target somewhere around $3,200. So how would I trade this? I would wait for this thing to test this 50. If we get a successful retest, I would set my stop loss under the 50 moving average, and ride it up. The nice thing about trading 50 moving averages is once they cross them, guys, you're in free money. I mean, they just take off. I just set a trailing stop loss until they come back and hit it or they lose it. And then you're stopped out. My big Ethereum trade, this was 1,000% from here to there. I set my stop loss. I took profits all the way down. A dollar cost averaged out of this thing as it was going up, and it stopped out at the daily 50. I made really, really good money with minimal risk, and it was a great trade. I can't complain. So that's where we're at. If you go to the 4 hour, we're kind of the same story that we are on Bitcoin. We didn't cross that 4 hour 50, which is a bit concerning to me. We did cross the 200, but they're very close together. So we're just kind of sandwiched in the middle. So right now, this is basically a no trade until we reject that 50 moving average or we lose this 200 moving average. I don't want to touch it. Once it loses this and retests it and fails to retest, that's your opportunity for a short. Same thing. Stop losses above the moving average, and then you trail it down, trail your stop losses down as you're taking profit along the way. But yeah, that gives you a pretty good update of what's going on. I want you guys to be cautious here. I know it looks like it's a big run, and it was. Ethereum, I think, was up 10%. So if you longed the bottom, congratulations. You probably made a little bit of money today. I didn't. I was wrapped up with family, and sometimes family is more important than trading crypto. So I'm okay if I miss a move. If I miss it, I'll wait on the next one. It's not a big hurry. I'm not going to get in late because look, I didn't lose any money today. I didn't make any money, but I didn't lose any. And that's the whole name of the game is I'm trying to get you guys to where you don't lose money. Capital preservation, risk management is key. I'm here to help you learn that. I want to let you know I'm just a blue collar guy. You've seen my videos. I'm out shoeing horses telling you guys about crypto. Crypto is my freedom. But in order to achieve that freedom, you have to play this market smart. You can't just rip off, ape in, and hope it's going to work. A lot of you guys learned that on Friday, and that's what I'm trying to keep from happening again. But I want to end this video. I said enough already. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm Chris Hare, the Crypto Cowboy. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you down the road.